Hi, this is Smoox.
Hey, and this is Jerry,
We are from TBD, which is Taiwan board game design.
where we bring you original board games from Taiwan. It's another great year for us, and we're looking forward to coming to Essen next week.
Yes, and this year we partner with 10 publishers from Taiwan and bring you over 15 new games. We have Strategy Euro, Gateway Family, Kids Game, Party Game, and even War Games.
And so the first publisher we'll talk about is 2+.
Yeah, 2+, this year they bring you 3 games. The first one we want to talk about is The Forgotten City. It's a game for 2 to 4 players, taking about 60 to 90 minutes to play.
Yeah, and I think the first thing that's special about this game is the art.
Yeah, the stunning artwork.
Yeah, so the vibrant artwork actually pairs well with the theme that they have.
Yeah, in this game you are actually lost in this forgotten city, which is actually in your dream. You lost your memory, you try to collect them back and get back to the reality.
Yeah, and so in an effort to figure out where you are and who you are, you're collecting these memory fragments, which are the monuments you build and read off of. And then you'll also be fighting nightmares, as well as bring about these miracles, which will give you special abilities and also additional points.
Yeah, so it's a little bit worker placement and resource collection. So it's quite heavy Euro style.
For a small or medium-sized box, I guess.
Yeah.
What I really like about the game is how puzzly it is. So not only do you try to figure out what resources you need to collect, but you have to figure out where on the map you want to go, which may affect where you can go next, as well as potentially blocking other players.
Yeah. So the game is quite heavy, but also but with the beautiful art, you need to check it out by yourself at our booth next week in Essen. And next is Mystical Seeds, also from 2+ Games. It's a game for 2 to 4 players, taking about 30 to 50 minutes.
Yeah, and this is another game that's very colorful. There's a color system that's used where you start with level 1 seeds that are red, yellow, or blue, and then you can merge them together or upgrade them to level 2 seeds like the orange, green, and purple, and even further to level 3.
Yeah, so as a botanist in the game, you try to cultivate the mystical plants by using these colorful seeds to fulfill the research card. And so you can get cultivate these plants and get points, and also you get the knowledge, and you can climb up the knowledge tree, so you get some special knowledge tile allows you to have special ability in the game. So the game has offer a lot of replay value because there are different tiles give you different strategy in the game.
Yeah, so not only is the seeds very colorful, but the art on the cards that you're trying to collect seeds for to fulfill the objectives, they are actually the colors will correspond to the seeds that you need. So for example, you may have an hourglass gourd that requires 2 blues and a red, and it looks a bit more purple, and then another one that's 2 yellows and a red, it looks a lot more orange. Yeah,
so that's a very beautiful and a very easy to learn about a lot of replay values family game, Mystical Seeds. And the third game from 2+ Game is called Something is Missing. It's a party game for 3 to 7 players, taking about 15 minutes to play.
Yeah, and the art here is from a Taiwanese artist, basically a picture book that was created. And the art's quite interesting because it's actually reflective of an era back in the 1970s or 1980s in Taiwan.
Yes.
And so when the Taiwanese see this, a lot of them feel a lot of nostalgia from this.
Yeah.
But for folks abroad, it actually is a way for you to learn and see what historical Taiwan was like back in the day.
And in the game, it's a memory and speed reaction game. So we'll look at some beautiful pictures in the game, and after we memorize what element inside, we put it face down. Each turn we'll review a card. You try to find items in one of the scenes, the pictures on the table. So try to be the first one to get that items and get more points in the game. Yeah. So that's Something is Missing from 2+ Games. So next is Dice Fishing Roll and Catch from Homo Sapiens Lab. It's a dice rolling party game for 2 to 5 players in 20 minutes.
Yeah, this is a fairly light-hearted game where all players are competitive dice fishermen in this contest.
Yes.
Basically, there's a card, a fish that comes out, and then everyone at the same time wagers how many dice at minimum they think they need to be able to catch this fish.
So every turn we will reveal fish card, and everyone will bid how many dice you think you need, and will reveal. The one with the fewest die will go first because you just need the minimum amount of equipment and rush to the fishing pool.
Yeah, so cards will have each a value that you need to hit, plus some constraints or some things like some kinds of dice you need to hit in order to catch the fish.
Yeah, so it's a little luck and also some strategy probability inside, some math inside. So
right, because there's some choices you have with the special dice. You can use them not just as normal dice, but to re-roll potentially, or to adjust your dice up and down.
Yeah, so it's always very fun when you play it. If you can roll with a very difficult probability to hit the required numbers and catch the fish, everyone will just, how can you do that? It's a lot of fun, dice fishing.
Yeah.
Next is from big fun games. It's called Fortune City. It's a game for 2 to 4 players, taking about 15 minutes to play.
Yeah, so Fortune City is based off of the same artwork as the app Fortune City, which is an expense tracking app that you can use actually to track your expenses while building and growing this city in a sim-like experience.
Yeah, so as a mayor in your city, you collect different tiles and workers, citizens in front of you, and you basically you build a tile by paying money. So you expand your city. And you can also send your workers to citizens to work in different tiles, different buildings to get advance the states of your cities, like getting more money or better transportation.
Yeah, and so the tiles give you different abilities as you build them. But the interesting thing is when you build a tile. When you buy a good from the market, you also get a meeple, and that meeple may not match the same color of the tile, which you need to activate the tile. So it's a bit of trying to find what you need in this kind of suboptimal environment. Yeah,
and the owl is also quite cute. It's the same from the in the app, so it's try to be the mayor to build the best city in this game.
Yes.
Yeah. So next is Unnamed Farm Organisms,
also known as UFO.
Yes, it's a party game for, I think it's a lot of players, 2 to 7 players, and it takes about 20 minutes to play.
From Lost Tile Games?
Yeah, from Lost Tile Games.
And so in this game, players are all extraterrestrial aliens, alien biologists visiting Earth. And they see these animals and they capture them and they want to name them.
Yeah, for research.
Yes, of course.
So it's a memory and reaction game. So in the beginning of the game, you will name these animals because you don't know them as aliens. But each turn we will reveal cards from player's hand, and we will try to name the catch the right name of the animals. And whenever you get the right name, sometimes you can have the chance to rename the creatures.
Yes, and so it's quite challenging after a while because everyone forgets the name and gets very lost.
Yeah, so it's quite crazy, but a lot of fun, and so you can also name this animal. That's quite interesting in the game.
So another game about animals.
Yes,
we have
it's
Cat
from
Rescue.
Cat Rescue is from Sunrise Tornado Game Studios. So the game is a cooperation game for 1 to 4 players, and it takes about 20 minutes to play.
Yes, and in this game, basically, there's a deck of cards that represents cats that are on the street, and they come out to the board, which is the shelter that you're trying to manage. They may also go into players' tableaus, which is the foster homes, and basically you're trying to form patterns to get them to be able to be adopted.
Yeah, so every time you play card either from in front of you or from the deck, and you try to move them on the table to build into certain pattern, like 3 cats of the same color, so that you can get the cat ready for adoption.
Yeah, I think there's also an expansion that is coming out, right?
Yeah, getting more cute cats.
Yes.
in this cute cat rescue game. Yeah.
All right. So now we have
next we have Mini World War II. It's from Formosa Force Games. It's a war game for 2 to 4 players. It takes about 60 to 90 minutes to play.
Yeah, and so this is actually a more accessible kind of war game that is accessible to most gamers, not just heavy war gamers.
Yeah. So in this game, it's a combat car driven area control game, and it's also a multi-use car strategy game. So you can use each car in 3 ways. One is for the operation point to either build your units or destroy your enemy's units, or you can use the event effect of the cars, or the third, you can use the car to build your technology. So it's not common to see tech tree in a war game, so it's quite interesting in this Mini World War II.
Yeah, and as the theme says, it's a World War II game. It's a team competitive game where basically Germany and Japan are fighting against the UK and the Soviet Union. So, and there might be allies that will join in halfway through the game. Yeah,
so that's a lot going on in this Mini World War II. And next we have Fed Shifters from X Multiverse Entertainment. It's a game actually it comes with 5 different rules, so it offers different range of players and different time to play the game.
Yeah, so it actually comes with a bunch of cards, and like Smoox said, the games that you can be played with include a trick-taking game, an area control game, even a storytelling game,
as well as a poker, mahjong, 5 different type of gameplay. And you use the tarot card types and zodiac and planet cards, so there's a lot of different elements that the designer twists them together and design different rules for the gameplay. And also the artwork is quite stunning, very beautiful illustrated artwork in this game.
Yeah, and the cards are used in different ways in different games, so it's actually quite a versatile system.
Yeah. And next up is Majolica from Blue Magpie Games, and it's a game for 1 to 4 players, taking about 60 minutes to play.
Yeah, so in this game, Majolica refers to the tiles, I think, that were created back in Spain.
Yeah.
And these tiles were exported all over the world, including to Taiwan.
Yeah.
And so in this game, you have a workshop that is creating Majolica tiles, and you're trying to fulfill these customer designs by matching what they need. Yeah,
so every time you will take a certain number of tiles from the common pool and you will put them into one of your workshop. If you can fulfill a specific requirement of the workshop and the design car, you can push some of the tile into the car and try to fulfill them. And something very cool in this game is a little bit programming elements. All the remaining tile you didn't use, after fulfill the requirement, you can carry over the tile to the next workshop. So you can kind of create kind of chain reaction in your turn.
So I think the coolest thing about this game is when you set things up just right, so that when a tile comes through, it cascades across all 4 of your workshops and earns you a bonus point for being able to move everything across.
Yeah, so it's actually a very beautiful but quite thinky type of trade games, Majolica. Yeah, so we got too many games here. And next,
we got a set of 4 games that are children's games from Play Again.
Yeah, Play Again series is from Kangshan Educational Publishing Corporation. So the different type of kids games, and they offer different number of different range of player counts and different
skills,
topics,
right?
Different skill for the kids.
And so the first one we're going to cover is what to wear.
Yeah. I love it a lot.
Yeah, so this is another game that has some color mixing elements.
Yes.
Basically, what you're trying to do is there's a target card that comes out that shows you that these colors are necessary to match this. Yes. And then you have a hand of cards of different tile cards that are semi-transparent, and you stick them into these cassettes, right?
Yeah, of kid animals.
Yeah, and you try to match the colors by maybe you have a red and yellow makes an orange, and match the colors shown.
Yeah, so be the first one to complete this required colors to score points. So it's quite easy for adults, but I think it's very challenging for kids, and they can learn something about the color.
Yes.
Yeah. And next is Monsters Party. It's called a tactile game, which means you use your fingers to figure out which monsters they are.
Yeah, so basically you get these blocks, right?
Yeah,
and
it's kind of monster cassette. You have
and then
different.
Each corner has these bumps basically, and you would reach in with your thumb or your finger and touch to try to feel what shape is being outlined.
Yeah.
And so if you have not so sensitive fingers, it's not a great game for you.
But I think kids will love that because the monsters are cute and they can try to develop their sense of touch.
Yeah.
So it's you can play competitively or cooperatively to invite the monster to the party. So it's very interesting, very fun tactile games. And next up is Okay Jumi Bong. It's very cute, and it's
it's a rhythm and
gesture.
Rhythm gesture kind of game.
Yeah, so you will have a beat.
Yeah, so
like
you have a regular
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, Jumi Bong. Okay, Jumi. You are doing something like that. Yeah. In the game, the story is that there's a photographer, Abu. He's very commanding.
He's an alligator, I think.
Yeah, and he always tell people to perform a specific gesture during the photography time.
Yeah.
So you have to follow all the gestures to score points or
he gets mad then.
Yeah.
If you don't, and he maybe eats you or something.
I hope not. But it's very cute and it's a good practice for kids to follow the action in rhyme and do the action together. So it's could be very cute.
Yeah. All right, last one we have, right?
Yeah, it's going around the city.
This is a strategy.
It's strategy game in this series. It's not for us that type of strategy, but for kids at age like 4, it's quite good practice for them. So
there's a map basically.
Yeah, there's a big map in the game, and you have two different transportation cards like bus and metro. So you have 3 cards in your hand. You try to play card to move your tokens on the map.
To visit different tourist destinations.
Yeah,
and the first to get there will score the most points. And so it's a little bit of a race and also
hand management
and the path finding kind of game.
Yeah, so it's simple for us, but I think it's quite challenging and quite interesting gameplay for kids.
Yeah, for sure.
So the last but not the least, and I think is the biggest among all these games, is called Taiwan.
Yes.
It's a game for 2 to 5 players, taking about 60 minutes to play.
So Taiwan is a strategy game. It's set in again in Taiwan historically, when the rise of Taiwan and the industrialization of Taiwan back about 50 years or so.
Yeah. So the game is a dice rolling resource collection game, and use the dice to get resource, and you use the resource to build different type of actual building and landscapes in Taiwan in the game. So different buildings require different time to be complete.
Yeah. I actually think that's probably one of the more interesting mechanisms, that you cannot build the buildings right away.
Yeah.
But like in real life, they take a certain amount of time to complete.
Yes.
And then you can plan your actions accordingly, because when they finally complete, they'll give you more abilities down the road.
Yes. And so you build a building. Also, some of them will allow you to put your tokens in some of the specific areas in Taiwan. So there are some area control element in the game, so you try to control area and you get big points in the end of the game.
Yes. So yeah, I think it's very colorful. That's the other thing. You can see the map of Taiwan is very large, and all the buildings are representative of actual buildings in Taiwan.
Yeah. So if you haven't been to Taiwan, you can play this first, and you can follow the picture, all the beautiful graphic in the game, and try to match them when you visit Taiwan someday in the future.
All right, so that's all the games we have for right now.
Yeah, for right now. We still have some secret game not yet ready for the video, but if you come to our booth next week in Essen, maybe you can try the secret game there.
Yeah, so do come by and visit.
Yes.
Also, all of these are available for pre-order right now.
Yeah.
Come visit our site and look them up on the BGG list as well.
Yeah, so it's very nice to go through all the new games with you again.
Thank you very much for watching our video,
Yeah.
and hope to see you next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.